Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith and I'm excited to be unboxing Arkham Horror Final Hour. This comes from Fantasy Flight Games and was designed by Carlo A. Rossi. This is a cooperative game of mystery and mayhem and is the latest entry in the Arkham Horror files. We're going to go ahead and flip this game box over, take a look at the back of the box, and then dive inside. 5 minutes to midnight, time to save the world. You arrive too late to stop the loathsome rite, and a monstrous, trans-dimensional Ancient One tears through reality. An iridescent rift slashes across the darkened skies, heralding the nightmarish creatures that pour into the hallowed buildings of Miskatonic University. As howls and screams cut through the night, there is only one path left for your fearless investigators. Hold back the horde long enough to somehow reverse the summoning. Gather your friends for a last stand in Arkham Horror Final Hour, a fully cooperative, fast-paced board game for 1 to 4 players. An endless tide of monsters sweeps across the Miskatonic University campus, and you must hold them back, all while searching desperately for the ritual components you need to put an end to this insanity. Playable in under 60 minutes, your fate depends on cooperation between you and your fellow investigators. The odds against you are astronomical, but if you don't succeed, this will indeed be the final hour for Arkham and the world. When you first open up Arkham Horror Final Hour, you're greeted with the rulebook, and we're going to go through a number of the pages here so you get an idea as to how this book is laid out. You've got your game overview and components on the left-hand side on the first few pages, basic concepts right here, moving right along into the setup, which you can see has a number of steps. These two pages combined total up to 11 in order to get this game to the table. In terms of how many pages this rulebook is to consume, overall 24 pages. The next thing you're going to find inside the box are 3 Ancient One sheets. And now there is an opposite side to each of these particular cards. They have artwork on them, but they also have spoilers involved. So I'm just showing you the setup side for each of these. They get a lot more interesting when they're flipped over to the other side. You'll also find 2 punch boards inside the box. This one comprises of a number of different types of tokens. We have tokens that represent damage here, monster tokens, investigator tokens, seal tokens, lead investigator token, clue tokens, and gate specific tokens. And this is a look at the exact same token sheet flipped over on its opposite side. The second token sheet inside the game has all kinds of monsters showing here, as well as some health tokens along the side and clue tokens. That same token sheet, when flipped over, looks like this. The next item in the box you're going to run into is the game board itself. This game board represents all of Arkham's Miskatonic University. The board's divided into 15 locations distinguished by a name and a number that you can see in each one of these spots. Each location contains monster spaces and is part of a colored zone that's indicated by the color of the name tag. You'll see that throughout the university here. So for example, we have Miskatonic University down here, the Orne Library right here, administration over here, and so on. There are 3 final things to go through before we finish the unboxing. We have some plastic stands, which if you've played a Fantasy Flight game in the past, you'll know these are used for the investigators. So we'll go ahead and just move those out of the way, essentially just allowing you to have your standee in an upright and vertical position. Next, let's go through each of these 2 decks. First up, we have priority cards, of which there are 30 of them, and you'll see how they change as I go through all 30 cards. Now again, I don't know the meaning of the icons, but I will be finding this out as I go through the rules at a later date. But as you can see right here, they are going to be, well, a priority in this game and certainly going to have an impact in some way. It's also extremely creepy seeing eyes looking back at me through these cards. The next type of card you're going to find going through the box are item cards, of which there are 9 of them here. We're going to flip them over to take a closer look at each of these item cards. Feel free to pause the screen in order to read each of them and also enjoy the fantastic artwork. Now, if you're familiar with games like Eldritch Horror, Arkham Horror LCG, the 3rd edition of Arkham Horror, some of this artwork is going to be familiar, but I always love that there's a major focus on the artwork on these cards. Moving into the standard size cards now, we've got reference cards to go through. There's 4 of them in the box because you can have up to 4 players. You got your action phase, your ancient one phase, your monster activation icons, and order. Flipping the reference card over to the opposite side just has some beautiful artwork. The next standard size cards you'll run into are the 60 action cards that are comprised of 10 action cards per investigator in the base box. Taking Tony Muldoon, for example, and flipping over the 10 action cards inside of his deck, you can see an example of some of the action cards within this base game that'll give you a better understanding of what you can expect throughout the other 6 characters. Bear in mind, though, that each of those characters have their own unique deck of cards. And that's going to wrap up the unboxing for Arkham Horror Final Hour. I hope this helps you make an informed decision on this particular game. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.